watching, Santa's waiting. Christmas Eve is slowly fading. Can you hear him in the night? Close the door, turn out the light.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Dolls of Horror. My name is Summer.
And I'm Tori.
And tonight we will be discussing 1984's Silent Night, Deadly Night, and also 1987's Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2.
1984, that's a good year again.
Yes, again. That's your year.
It is.
So a brief synopsis of this movie, if you have not seen it or heard about it, because I know that Tori had not before I made her watch it last week.
Yeah.
Is little Billy witnesses his parents getting killed by Santa after being warned by his senile grandpa that Santa punishes those who are naughty. And now Billy is 18 and out of the orphanage, and he has just become Santa. So that's not good.
Yeah, it doesn't sound that great. It's, I guess it's better than it sounds, depending on who you ask.
Okay, so what did you think about this movie? Were you super disappointed, or were you just okay on it, or did you like it?
I was okay. I don't know. It's a hard movie. I mean, I liked it. It was worth a watch. I'll say that. But I probably won't be watching it again. I mean, honestly, I don't think I will watch it again. It was worth a watch, though. I'm glad I watched it. It added to my list of horror movies that I have now seen.
Yes.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, it is one of my holiday traditions. I watch it at least once a December. In fact, yeah. I think I watch all of them at least once a December.
No, not me. I would not be doing that. No, I mean, now don't get me wrong. Okay, I mean, we're just gonna have to wait until we jump into my favorite kill and my favorite everything. I mean, it's not that bad, I guess. Part 2 is way worse, but we'll get to that.
Part two is okay, but it's not great. It's hilarious, is what it is.
Yeah, that's another thing too. It's one of those movies where it's more funny and more like nostalgic than anything. It's not really
definitely, and that's probably why I love this movie so much, is because of the nostalgia value.
Yeah, and me just now seeing it for the first time, I'm like, whatever. Yeah, that's what it is.
So, what was your favorite kill in this one?
Oh my gosh, I was so excited. Okay, I was so excited about this one. Okay, my favorite kill.
I can't wait to hear it.
Okay, my favorite kill is whenever the girl gets hung up on the antlers. Now, to me, okay, antlers are Christmassy, deer, whatever. Okay, antlers are Christmassy, and she gets hung on them like it's a coat rack, basically.
Yes.
And she's partially nude.
Yes.
And so it's almost like I wrote down in my notes that she's almost looks like a demented type of angel, because she gets hung on these racks, on these antlers, like and then there's still antlers sprawling out from her back, almost like angel wings. And I'm like, it's a Christmas horror movie. She's almost like a demented type of angel.
I like that.
Yeah. So that was my favorite kill. I mean,
yeah, and she was hung on a rack with a rack.
Yeah, she was hung on a rack with her rack hanging out. Yeah, like some kind of demented horror movie. Yes,
like, it's great.
Demented angel. Yeah, it's great.
My favorite. I have two favorite kills, and that is one of them for sure. But I think my most favorite is the kid or teenager who gets decapitated while sledding.
Okay, yes, I remember that one.
I like that. I thought that was fun.
Just like I like it.
I like it.
Okay.
I thought that was fun, and he just pops out of nowhere and hello, no head.
Okay. Yeah. Decapitation seems to be a thing in a lot of horror movies.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So.
Yep. I mean, I like a good decapitation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
How did you think of the kill creativity in this?
The kill creativity, like I just said, a lot of decapitation happens in a lot of horror movies. I didn't even remember that kill until you said it, if that tells you anything.
So it's just standard.
Yeah, it's just standard. Yeah, but like I said, the antlers, that I think that was pretty creative.
Yeah.
And if I'm thinking of part 1,
yes,
I think there was another kill that was kind of creative. But really, I mean, honestly, part 1 and part 2 really meshed together for me, and I had a hard time, now that I'm trying to look back on it. It's a good thing I took notes, because they blend together so much. I don't really remember which is 1 and which is 2. So yeah, but some of the kills were creative. I will say that. And
yeah, especially since part 2 is half part 1.
Yeah, they recap it way too much. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'll get into why they did that in the fun facts episode, or area of the episode, in the part 2 portion. Okay. Because I got facts on that.
Okay. So what do you think of the kill creativity?
I thought it was okay. I mean, like I said, I just really enjoy this movie as a whole for what it is. It's definitely not a great movie, but I love it very much. And it's definitely not the most creative movie, but I still love it. Okay. I think the kill creativity maybe 5. From 1 to 10 dolls, I give it a $5.
Yeah, I could say that too.
Yeah, right in the middle there. Just it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
They didn't have too little. They didn't have too many.
Yes.
How do we feel about fashion? I love me some 80s fashion.
Okay. I think you're going to like my fashion pick.
I can't wait.
Okay. There's some things going on in my personal life right now, but that is probably influencing my choices.
Oh, please tell.
Okay.
The choice, not the things.
I know. Okay. Gotta calm down.
Yes.
Okay. My fashion choice is her Daisy Dukes. I love a good pair of Daisy Dukes. I think she looks fantastic in them.
Well, yes.
Yeah, she looked fantastic in them. So yeah, I mean, and that's when she gets killed. She gets killed in her Daisy Dukes.
You're talking about Linnea Quigley, right? Antler Girl?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm talking about Antler Girl. She gets killed in her Daisy Dukes.
Yes.
Topless.
It's hot.
It is. Yeah. I was like, damn, I got to get me a pair of Daisy Dukes. Like I got to have some for Texas Frightmare. Like I got to have me some Daisy Dukes. So yeah.
You could cosplay.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I'm going to cosplay at Texas Frightmare in nothing but a pair of Daisy Dukes.
Just get a tan bodysuit.
Oh my God, Summer, you're a bad influence. Jesus. Okay, moving on. I might have to do that now. I might have to do that now. I might have to, because you said it, and now we're going to have to do it and post it on the Dolls of Horror Facebook page that I cosplayed. And maybe I can even get some antlers to hang off my back.
That would be genius. But you know what would be even more genius is sometimes these actors, rarely, but sometimes they do cons. It would be hilarious to show up like that at one of the cons that they were at.
I'm going to look into that. I'm going to make a note of that. You done did it now. That's a challenge, and I'm going to have to accept that challenge.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
So horrible. Oh my God. This is why I love you, though. Okay.
It's going to be epic.
Okay. What is your fashion choice?
Okay. So I love Pamela's pastel striped skirt with her little blue top and her big oversized belt. Pamela is the woman that worked in the store.
You are very preppy.
I know. It's so cute.
You're choosing all the preppiness.
And I almost picked Mr. Sims's bow tie because I love a good bow tie.
Yes, I love a good bow tie. Yes, I do.
And no one wears them anymore.
Yes.
But I had to go with the cute outfit I would not, unlike Nancy's outfit, I would not wear that today.
Yeah.
But it's so 80s, and
Yes.
and the colors, it was pastel, big belt.
Yes.
First of all, I'm also quite short, so I could never wear skirts like that because they always came to my toes. And I just look up and I go, how tall are these women? My God.
Yeah.
So I could never wear the long dresses and the long skirts because they were supposed to come to your calf or your ankle, and they're just dragging on the ground for me.
Yes.
So that's probably why I have a little bit of height envy there.
I mean, I have height envy too. I mean, neither one of us are very tall.
No.
So, but yeah, I'm okay, I guess. I don't want to be too tall.
True. I don't know. I could stand to be a good 5'10".
Oh my geez. Okay.
my mom is on the taller side. My sister is much taller than me. I'm the runt of the family.
Okay. I would not want to be that tall, but
I'd be fine with it. But yeah, moving on. They don't want to hear about our vertically challenged woes.
Okay, let's move on to my favorite line. Now, this line, like we said, I have children. This line spoke to me.
Okay.
I don't remember who said it. I didn't write down who said it.
Okay. But
it goes, Christmas Eve is the scariest damn night of the year.
Okay.
And I was like, I sat there and asked myself, I'm like, for who? The adults or the children? Because I know as being a parent, I dread Christmas Eve. Like, I mean, it's enjoyable. Don't get me wrong. I love Christmas. I always make it fun for my children. But I'm always wrapping presents at the last minute. And
it's so much work.
Eve. Yes, it is so much work. And I'm always wrapping presents and trying to stay up as late as possible, as late as them, because they don't want to go to bed.
Because of Santa, right?
Yes, I'm always staying up as late as possible so I can put the presents under the tree and then go to bed. And it's just like, there's been times where I wake up the next morning before everybody else and put them under the tree. So Christmas Eve is the scariest damn night of the year. Whoever said that line in that movie is correct. I think it applies to both children and parents.
There you go.
That's why I chose it.
I like that. I like that logic, and I like that line. It didn't even register on my radar when I was looking for my favorite line. But what's interesting about us is we're coming at these things from two different viewpoints. Mm-hmm. I do not have children. You have several children.
Yes.
So especially with holiday movies, Santa, that kind of lore, you have a different viewpoint because you are closer to the little people than I am.
Yes. True.
Not including myself. I'm the little people too.
Yes, you are one of my little people.
Yes, I am. I'm a little. But so it's really interesting hearing your standpoint as a parent on these things.
Yes.
My favorite line. Again, I have two. I was so tempted to actually pick the trademark line that you see in all the trailers, which is punish.
Yes.
Just because that's iconic. That's iconic with this movie. Again, I grew up with this, and that is what is always shown. So that's always sticks in my head. But I think my favorite line is when the kids are playing outside before Billy grows up to be an adult. Mm-hmm. One of the orphans says, "Billy, what's wrong?" And then one of the other orphans says, "Your brother's a nutcase. That's what's wrong." Because I would probably say something like that. Actually, you know me.
I can see you doing that.
Yeah, I totally would. And I had one more line that I had to play for my husband because I thought he would relate to it. He is an operations manager, and when the lady who runs the toy store with Mr. Sims walks up, and she says, "We have a teensy problem personnel-wise," and he says, "Well, do something about it solution-wise." I played that for him, and he's like, "Yep."
That's hilarious. I don't even remember that line. That's funny.
Oh, it's a good line. And I've worked retail for many years too, so I think about that too. And it plays in my head often throughout my life. Well, do something about it, solution-wise. And
there you go, back again to the different perspectives.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about some acting quality here.
Okay. There's not any really big name actors that I knew right offhand. Right. I don't think. I didn't recognize anybody right offhand. The acting was not that great, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. It wasn't that great, but it also wasn't bad. It was tolerable. It was believable. Agreed. It was Agreed. Believable.
You know, I thought the children were very good.
Well, yeah, they're children. Yeah, they were good.
But sometimes children can look like they're reading off of a page and they're not good. It can be hard to find a child actor.
Yeah, for children, they were good. And there was a lot of children. So, yeah,
there were a lot of children, and I thought they were good. I thought they were very believable.
Yes.
And their lines were well read and didn't look like they were rehearsed. It just looked like they were doing what they were doing. So, yes. I think the best actors in this were actually the kids.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
I wonder what happened to them.
I can get behind that.
Mm-hmm. I did not do the research on that, so I wonder what happened to them.
Okay.
How do you feel about the special effects in this one?
I think they were good.
Yeah, lots of practical, but again, I believe this was quite low budget, so
yeah,
it's low budget practical.
Yeah, there was not really much. There's not really much going on in this movie. I mean, I just don't know what to say. There's not really much going on. But the special effects were good. I mean, it was believable. It was, I could see it happening.
From what little you saw? Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. I totally agree with that one. How about the story? How did you feel about the story?
The story itself was good. I mean, the pace was good. The story was good. Obviously, I think it could have been done a little bit better, but you take what you can get on the budget you have and with what you have. But the story itself, the story behind it, why Santa's doing what he's doing, why the kid is doing, the kid, who is supposed to be Santa. I have to say that I really enjoyed the opening.
Yeah?
The way it opens. Yeah. The way it opens, I actually really liked that. Like the first, I'd say 15 minutes, 10 minutes. So yeah, it really starts out really good.
And when they go to see Grandpa and then they're driving and then they get killed. Yeah. It really just jumps right in. And did you happen to catch Grandpa's side eye looking all evil?
No.
When Grandpa's staring at little Billy, he's looking all evil right out the side corner of his eye.
Oh, you mean in the nursing home whenever Grandpa won't talk to anybody but talks to Billy.
Yeah. He's like, I know, I hear them all. I know everything.
Yeah. And then it jumps right from that to, hey, you might actually get to meet Santa tonight. And then
and then that happens. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I like the story because I know a lot of children are afraid of Santa Claus in the mall. You put them on Santa's lap and they start to scream, right?
Yes.
Has that happened with your children?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Tell story.
It happened with, I believe, every single one of my children at some point in time because they range in age so drastically. Yes. So it happened with every single one of my children at one point in time, not just with Santa, but with the Easter Bunny and everything else as well. And I remember commenting whenever my son, who is now 9, whenever he was about 4, he was the only one crying in the Santa picture. Everybody else was fine. And then you have this one child bawling his eyes out, faces red. And I'm like, it's just not Christmas unless there's a child in a picture crying.
With Santa.
And I said that. Yeah. And I remember saying that to their father. I'm like, that's it. That's what makes it Christmas. Everybody, here's Santa. Here's our 3 other children. They're all happy. And then bam, there's him crying with a red face and tears. And he's like, I'm like, there, that's it. That's the perfect picture.
Probably terrified.
Yeah. I'm like, that's the perfect picture right there. That is, now it's Christmas, because it's just not Christmas unless there's a child crying on Santa's lap. I mean, sorry. If that makes me a bad mother, then it makes me a bad mother. But I'm like, every year there has to be a picture of a child crying on Santa's lap, or it's just not Christmas.
It's true, though. It's true. I see it a lot. And I've seen it a lot, especially in this age in social media when we get to see everyone's pictures.
Yes.
And I see that a lot. I don't recall if I was ever afraid of Santa. I don't have any recollection of being afraid of Santa. I'll have to ask my parents on that one. They might remember some baby thing that I don't.
Yeah.
But
I don't remember being afraid either, but
Yeah.
I'm sure we all probably were at one time.
Well, you know, maybe I just had the creepy bone in my body early. We all know that. I was afraid of killer clowns from outer space, but I don't recall being afraid of Santa. And I remember that memory, and I think I was probably 5. I don't recall being afraid of Santa, though.
Yeah. Well, let's just make this clear. Kids are afraid of Santa for I don't know really what reason.
Right? Is it just because he's a stranger? Or is it because he's covered with all that hair? Is he so bright and vibrant that their eyes can't process all that color? Maybe that's
I don't know. But let's differentiate between that. Normal kids are scared of Santa just because whatever. In this movie, they have a reason to be scared of Santa.
True. He was traumatized.
This kid gets traumatized by Santa on Christmas Eve. So he has a legitimate reason to be terrified of Santa. My children, I don't know. I don't know what the problem is with children. I don't know. I'm just trying to raise them. I don't know what their deal is, okay?
That's the best quote about parenting. I'm just trying to raise them. I don't know what their deal is. I'm gonna meme that up. I'm telling you, it's going on.
Okay, well, you do it.
All right. How about let's talk about some music.
The music was good. Obviously, it was Christmas music. Mm-hmm. I have to say, I wrote it down. There were some Christmas songs I have not heard, which was refreshing. Because I get really sick and tired of hearing the same Christmas songs over and over again. Mm-hmm. And so I'm really glad that this movie had Christmas music, but it was not Christmas music that I have heard over and over again. It's not your typical Christmas music that you hear.
Yep.
So, and I agree. And I'm a Scrooge. I don't want to hear Christmas songs until after Thanksgiving. And even then, I'm like, okay, I'm popping in a CD or I'm listening to my phone, Bluetooth or something because I just don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know that 2 of the main songs that they play over and over again, one was Warm Side of the Door.
Okay.
And one was called Santa's Watching. And that's the one that they're constantly singing.
Okay. I didn't catch on to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both were by someone named Morgan Ames, Ames. And I have never heard of this individual. And the only time I've heard these songs, I think, is in the movie. I'm pretty sure they were made for this movie. But they played on and off throughout. So that was kind of refreshing to hear some original music.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Refreshing. Mm-hmm. Refreshing music.
Yeah. So what about how scary is this for you? It's good? Good scary, bad scary, not scary?
It wasn't scary for me. I'm not scared of Santa.
I know, me neither.
I'm not.
Yeah, I give it a 0 on the scary rating, but again, I'm not scared of anything, so
it's a 0. It's a 0 on the scary rating, and maybe like a 7 or 8 on the fun rating.
Definitely a 7 or 8 on the fun rating.
It was fun, and I have to say, I wrote it down, and I have to say, in certain horror movies, like we said, the decapitation is a big one. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing in almost every horror movie, it is a no-no to have sex. You have sex, you die. Almost immediately. Sometimes during the process, you will die. Okay?
Well, that's one of the rules.
Yeah, it's one of the rules. Hello, they laid that out in Scream.
Yes.
But I didn't think about it until I saw Scream. Mm-hmm. And then now that we're doing this podcast, it's like every horror movie I watch, I relate and I think about the rules. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's true. So they're always like, every time I see one, I'm like, oh, that's a rule. Oh, that's a rule. And it really is in every scary movie. And the girl with the antlers, they, were in the middle of doing it or had just gotten done doing it.
Or were about to.
Yeah. And she gets killed instantly. So.
Yeah, I think she was going. I don't think they've started yet, but they were going to she was going to check on the cat.
Oh, they started. She was nude. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, that's
right.
I don't know
what that means. I don't know what being nude is to you, but to me, that's starting. Okay.
One of the famous directors, I can't remember if it was John Carpenter or Wes Craven. I'm pretty sure it was one of those two. said in an interview once that the interviewer asked them, why does the sinner, either the one that's drunk or on drugs or having sex, always get killed? And he said, I don't think it has anything to do with the sinning aspect. It's just the fact that they're not paying attention. They're too preoccupied with the sex and the drinking and the drugs to get it together and realize that there's something wrong.
That's interesting.
I mean, think about it. If you were focused, you'd figure it out a lot faster.
That's interesting.
Right?
I have to say, though, in this movie, she was not focused on that. She was focused on the cat.
She really was.
And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're going to stop and she's like, oh, I got to let the cat in. What?
Yep.
What? You're going to stop and let the cat in. What are you doing? I have issues. I'm mad about that. I have issues right now. I'm mad. You're going to stop to let the damn cat in. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You're like, you're busy. It'll wait, right?
Yeah. I'm like, the cat can wait, dude. It's a cat. And it's not even your cat. You're like babysitting. No, I'm serious. Like, you're babysitting for this kid and you have your boyfriend over, which is cliche. You're babysitting, you have a guy over or whatever. And you're like, oh, I heard the cat. I better go let it in.
Mm-hmm.
What? No. That irritates me.
No, just no. So, did you anticipate how this movie was going to end up? Did you anticipate Billy growing up and being forced to play Santa? Did you know anything about what was about to happen, or did you just sit back and enjoy the ride?
I have to say, I just sat back and enjoyed the ride. I don't think I was really, because I think you can only predict a movie if you're trying to predict it.
Yeah, I try not to. I think it ruins some of the fun.
Yeah. If you're thinking about it and like, oh, I want what's going to happen next. I want to try to guess what's going to happen. Then you can predict it. But with this one, I was not trying to predict it. I didn't want to predict it. And no, I don't think I really saw it going there. And I wasn't trying. So I just kind of sat back and just watched it and did my homework and took the notes and was like, okay.
And I think the first time that you watched this movie, you were also feeling really under the weather, weren't you?
Yes, I was not doing good at all.
Yeah, so you weren't in the thinking mode. You were just watching and enjoying.
And trying to take down notes.
Yeah, like a good girl.
Yeah, on my phone, in my notepad. And then,
ladies and gentlemen, we call this doing our homework.
Yes, and then Summer's like, okay, are you ready to record? And I'm like, I can't find my notes. Where are my notes? Apparently I didn't take any. And then 2 weeks later, I'm in the middle of doing the dishes and I'm like, my notes are on my phone in my notepad. So it's hilarious, guys. It's hilarious what goes on around here.
That's called mom brain.
Yeah, and sick and just everything else brain. It's been rough.
So,
but I'm here.
We're all here, thank God, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you think this movie held up over time? How did it age?
I don't know.
I don't think it aged terribly well. Like, I think the people that love it are the people like me who grew up with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a classic for us, but for the newbies, gosh, especially these young kids, show this to them, they're going to be like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted to ask you also, if you thought about this, the toy store that he goes to work at.
I love it.
Okay, me too. Those windows where they paint the windows with that white flaky paint stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember those? Do they still do that? Because they don't do that here in Chicago. I haven't seen that in years and years. Do they do that where you're at?
Live in I don't know if toy stores do it or this or that, but I know I live in a small town, and the couple small towns that surround me, certain restaurants will do it, depending on where you go. But yeah, small towns. Yeah. I think it's a small town. Yeah, small towns will do it. I have to say about the toy store, I really enjoyed, and that's what got me though, because it was Christmas time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if you remember whenever they're going in the back of the store, they have a very clear shot of Halloween costumes.
Oh.
And they were vintage Halloween costumes. And I was like, oh my gosh.
I think I do remember that.
Yeah, I was like, why are there vintage Halloween costumes hanging up and it's Christmas time, supposedly?
Continuity.
Yeah, because I have a thing for vintage costumes right now, and I love looking at them because they're so creepy.
Yeah, I've always loved them.
And I think one was actually Mighty Mouse. Like, there's a Mighty Mouse, like really old vintage stuff. And I was like, wow, that's a Mighty Mouse costume. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Nobody even knows what Mighty Mouse is nowadays. So yeah, I caught on to that.
Oh my gosh, you are completely right. I had forgotten all about that. It didn't even register for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I had totally forgotten about that. And yeah, you are so right. Okay, so overall movie rating on this one, Miss Tori.
Overall movie rating on this one.
Mm-hmm. I know it's hard because you found good things and bad things on it.
I'm gonna give it $5.
$5.
It's gonna be right in the middle.
Yep, just like in the beginning, right?
Yep. Because I don't hate it and I don't love it, and it was fun.
That's fair.
So, $5.
That's a good fair rating for you. So you're neutral on it. That's good.
Yes.
That's good. Okay, so I got to give it a $7 just because nostalgia.
I can see it.
Yeah, it's a good 7. It's definitely not an 8 or a 9, definitely not a 10, but just because I just love it so much for all of its cheese, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see you giving it two more dolls for the nostalgia rating. I can see it. I agree.
It's worth $2 more for you?
For you it is. I can see it being worth it for you, not for me. But for the nostalgia rating, I can see it being worth it for you.
Yeah, so that's a fair?
Yes, that's fair.
All right. Okay. Let's have some fun facts that I dug up.
Okay.
Well, first of all, this is a common known fact for people who know this movie was protested in theaters because of the content.
Okay.
Yeah. And they pulled several from theaters in several areas.
I have to ask you this then.
Mm-hmm.
It came out in 1984, correct?
84, yep.
Before Nightmare on Elm Street or after?
That was the next one. Same week.
Because they can't pull this movie and be like, okay, Nightmare on Elm Street's okay.
Same week.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yep. I have 2 different dates listed, so I don't know which date is correct. I have heard it came out the same day as Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, wow.
And then I have another date that listed it like 3 days before. Maybe that was a preview show. But okay. I had heard from several different sources that this was released the same day as A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
So I thought that you would find that awesome.
I do.
Some other fun facts. This movie took 32 days to shoot.
Oh, wow. Okay, another one. That's just like Nightmare on Elm Street too.
Yeah. Okay. The original title was Sleigh Ride. It had
no.
I know, right? I think they made a good choice because the title is so iconic. It's long, but it's iconic.
Yes.
They had a budget of $750,000, and it made $1.4 million opening weekend.
Wow!
So even after the protests, after it was pulled, they made their money back. And then
well, people have to understand that protesting it and doing that is just going to draw more attention and make more people want to see it.
Yeah.
So you're not really getting anything accomplished.
Yeah. Okay, and here's the last one, which I highlighted after you were talking about it. That antler kill was not scripted or planned.
Wow.
This is from the director's commentary that I was listening to because I'm a dork and I listen to those sorts of things. They thought of that on the spot.
That's amazing.
Not planned.
I loved it.
Yep. And since that was your favorite kill and it's one of my favorites, not planned. Good job. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Is that all we have to say?
I think so.
Okay. So let's move on to 1987's Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. This one is about an adult Ricky. You're already laughing. Talking to his psychiatrist about how he became a murderer after his brother Billy died. Oh, we didn't talk about his brother dying, but yeah, brother Billy died in the end of the first one, and then it ended.
Okay, yeah. So, I think you're gonna hate me. You're gonna. Okay.
No, I'm not. No, not.
I think I want to start this one.
Okay, do it.
I can't do it. Okay, it's Caddyshack all over again. Okay.
Don't go there.
Okay, we will get to that on our Days of the Dead post. Or Days of the Dead
podcast.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, my favorite line in part 2. And I hope you remember it.
I'm sure I will.
Okay, stop.
I'm dying.
I gotta stop giggling.
Okay.
My favorite line in part 2. Stop it! You already know, don't you? You like just have telekinesis.
I have a list.
Oh my god!
You're like long with my favorite lines.
Well, you're probably like, okay, I know what Heather's going through right now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and assume it's this one. Okay. Do you remember? They are in the park or a meadow, something, laying in the grass, having a picnic.
Yeah.
Okay. And the guy, I don't remember his name. Okay. He says, let me say it says, okay. And he says this with a straight face, everybody. He says, look.
Look.
Shut up.
Okay.
He said.
Sorry, guys.
Okay. He says, okay. He says, look. I can't. Okay.
I'm not even laughing.
I'm sorry.
Take a breath.
Okay. Take a drink. Take a breath. Okay.
Yep. Same.
Okay. I'm going to close my eyes.
Okay.
He says, look, if you don't tell me you want it, you can't have it.
That's your epic line.
That's my epic line.
Well, that is very you.
And he says it. He looks her right in the eye. Dude, guys, he is serious. Okay? And he looks her right in the eye. And he's like, look, if you don't tell me you want it, you can't have it. And I was like, oh shit. Oh my God. I was like, oh my God.
That is so you.
Yes. So that okay. And hey, in my defense, this movie is not that great. It did not have really very many epic lines. Okay. And I was drawn to that one. So.
No, there you go.
You can go to hell.
Hey. In the nicest way. Well, again, this movie holds nostalgia for me because I grew up with it also.
Okay.
And so I have a little bit more history on what lines are popular and what this movie is known for saying. I have quoted this movie in my daily life before. I quoted it yesterday at work.
Wow.
Because it was on my mind. And I just came out with Garbage Day at work with my coworker Jesse, and he lost his shit, and it was great. But
I don't think I remember that one.
Oh my gosh, it's even a GIF in your phone. It's even a GIF. If you type in Garbage Day, that scene will come up as a GIF in your iPhone.
You know what needs to be a GIF? My line.
Well,
my
line.
Make it
happen.
What?
Let's make it.
You need to make it a meme.
I will definitely make it a meme. So my epic line is from Jennifer in the movie theater when talking to her ex. And she says, "You stood me up, you cheated on me, you ruined my best sweater."
I don't remember that.
It was when she was on a date with Ricky. in the movie theater, and then Ricky goes to go get popcorn or something.
Yes.
I don't recall.
Okay. Yes.
And her ex tries to start hitting on her, and she goes, "No." Now, of course, we have to mention the lines that this movie is known for. Yes. Again, punish. Garbage day.
Naughty
this. Naughty this is also quite common. And it makes me laugh. My colleague that I spoke of earlier, Jesse, he actually went through this movie and pulled a bunch of sound clips for me to put on the end of this podcast of these lines, because I was just so tickled, and he said he enjoyed doing it. So I was like, super. So Jesse, we love you. Thank you so much for your work.
Awesome.
And he's also going to be helping us out with some sound editing and stuff also.
Okay.
But he has some good ideas. So after we got that shout out done, so that's my epic line. You stood me up, you cheated on me, and you ruined my best sweater. Okay. Because, I don't like being stood up or cheated on, and I like to keep my clothes intact.
You're like really into these whole sweaters, and I'm just like going to have to buy you sweaters.
I like my clothes. Oh, I got enough sweaters. I don't have room for any more. Okay. It's kind of like DVDs. I got too many. Okay. I really don't have room for any more sweaters. So, what was your favorite kill?
Oh my gosh. My favorite kill in part 2. I'm going to have to go with the antlers again, because I'm pretty sure they recap it.
They did, and that's perfectly valid. There you go.
They recap they recap part 1 so much, it's ridiculous. So yes, I'm gonna have to go
45 minutes of part 1. Maybe 40 minutes of part 1.
Yes.
So you're completely correct.
Yes,
you are right.
What was yours?
Mine is the antenna. When Ricky rips the antenna off the car and strangles Jennifer with it, I thought that was fun.
Yes. Okay, you know what? There is another fun one in part 2.
Okay.
It's a decapitation.
Yes.
Do you know which one I'm talking about? When the snowman gets decapitated. Because you know what? Whenever you're a child, I don't know if it's just me, but after you build a snowman, you kind of just want to destroy it.
You just want to knock its block off.
Yeah, you just want to, after you take all this time, you build this snowman, and then when you're done, you kind of just want to take its head off. So I was like, yes, he decapitated the snowman.
Is that your official favorite kill? The snowman?
I would say for part 2, let's make that my official favorite, since
the
antlers are part 1.
Okay, snowman, like it. That's different. I like it. Very, very cool. How about the kill creativity in this? Because there wasn't a lot.
I'm going to have to go for kill creativity. I'm going to have to go that I like it a lot. I don't know exactly what number to give it. Do you remember the kill with the car battery?
Yeah, that was a good one.
That one. And that goes into the special effects as well, which was very good, I thought.
Yeah. Especially for what it was.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. There weren't a lot of kills, but the ones that were there that weren't done with a gun, I thought were fun. And quite creative. I have not ever thought of ripping an antenna off of a car and strangling someone with it. That's never come across my brain. So do you want to parlez-vous that into special effects? What do you think of the effects?
They were good, especially for their time. And like I said, the battery kill, I thought it was pretty good, pretty well done.
Yeah, it was fun. And we all know I love practical effects. So anytime you can give me some practical effects over some really bad CGI or even really good CGI, I'm a fan.
Yes, me too.
Let's talk about some fashion.
Okay, I like my fashion pick for this one.
I was so into Ricky's institution shirt that was like 2 sizes too small.
You had to mention that it was it was too small.
That's why it's my fashion pick.
Oh my gosh. Mine is kind of naughty as well.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe they are doing a flashback, and he's a dishwasher, at a restaurant.
Yeah. That was almost one of mine too.
And he's wearing a tight white t-shirt and tight jeans.
Yep.
Now, to me, that's very like James Dean.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just so, for men, I think as far as men go and as far as men's fashion, you can never go wrong with a tight white t-shirt and tight jeans. I can't.
She can't even speak. Tori can't even speak. Just thinking about this t-shirt and jeans.
Okay. It's all, I'm sorry. Okay. I can't, I'm not in my right state right now.
You're okay. You're going to be okay.
Okay. Yes. But it's very James Deanish, very classic, very sexy. It's very, rugged, I guess you could say, rugged without trying to be rugged. It's very sexy without trying to be sexy.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That was almost my fashion pick too.
Okay.
But good. I went with the institution shirt probably because I saw it more.
Yeah. They're in that room a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was also a good kill, in the back alley where he.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good one where he stabs him with the umbrella and you see the piece of flesh hanging off the umbrella tip. That was kind of great.
Yes, I liked the umbrella one. That was great. The umbrella actually opens up and that was pretty neat. Yeah.
Yes. It's pretty great. That was pretty epic. I have a lot to say about the acting quality.
Okay.
Especially Eric Freeman, who plays Ricky, especially his eyebrow acting.
Okay.
Have you noticed how many times his eyebrows go up and down in this movie? It's like they're about to fly off of his forehead.
You know what? Surprisingly, and I am very shocked, I was not paying attention to that.
And I'm not the only one that saw this.
Okay.
But yeah, I thought it was just me in the beginning until I was trying to look for some fun facts, and then there's an actual count of how many times his eyebrows do move up and down. But yeah, his eyebrow acting on point.
Great.
I think the acting in this movie isn't that bad. I think it was possibly the script that wasn't that great.
I will give you that. For my acting, I just put horrible. That's all I put. I just wrote one simple word: horrible.
Horrible. So a 0?
For the acting, 1? I mean, they tried. They did their best. I wouldn't give it a complete 0.
Yeah. I think I want to blame that more on the script, though. I think that they do have potential.
Yeah.
But I think that the lines that they were given weren't great. And probably extremely hard to deliver.
Yes.
So what do you think of the story?
Meh.
Meh. The fact that it was
hey, let me in.
Part 1.
Meh.
Meh. Yeah, the fact that it was half of part 1 kind of like turned you off.
Well, that sound like meh. MEH. It's kind of like a meow, like a cat.
Yeah.
So like meh.
Yep.
Stop what you're doing. Let me in.
Well, she tried.
Whatever.
I actually don't have any notes on this section. Drop the ball on this. Clearly, it wasn't that stand out for me. Soundtrack.
The soundtrack. I don't think I have any notes on it either. For soundtrack, I put nice.
Nice.
I don't know what that means. I think I wasn't feeling well again, and I was just like, I was already irritated that I had to sit through the first one. And then you're like, okay, Heather, now you have to watch the second. And I'm like, really? I have to watch the second one now? Which was really just like me being irritated about watching the first one again because it was half the first one. So it's like...
That's so funny.
It was horrible. I love you, though.
I love you.
I say that.
I'm sorry. That I
hated watching it, but I do. I mean, I enjoy it.
Yeah,
I do enjoy it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so how was the scary for you?
It wasn't scary.
No, not at all.
It's another one where it was more fun than scary, fun to watch.
It was definitely hilarious. This was a comedy in my eyes.
It was. And you know what I found funny? Is that girl is sitting there talking crap about her ex-boyfriend the entire time. And then finally he kills him. And she's like, what did you do? And I'm like, what did you want him to do?
You're talking about Antenna Girl?
Huh?
You're talking about the girl that gets killed with the antenna?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, exactly right. And you know who she is, right? She's in another franchise sequel horror movie. Did you spot it? Her name is Elizabeth Catan. I think I said that correctly. She was in Friday the 13th, Part 7.
Okay. See, I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, so she was in that one. And she lasted a good long time in that one. But you'll have to watch that one, and then you'll see it. I thought she looked so pretty in this one. In Part 7 of Friday the 13th, she was kind of mousy, just meh. But I think she was very, very beautiful in this one.
Okay.
All right. Do we have anything else to say about this before we get to the overall rating?
I don't think so.
So what's your overall on Part 2?
I'm gonna have to go with a strong 3.
A strong 3. I'll get there with. I'll go there with you. I'm gonna give it a 4. $4.
Okay.
$4. If I really think hard about it and be real critical, I could probably give it 3 in a torso, just like Nightmare on Elm Street was 9 in a torso. But I'm going to have to just go with 4 just for nostalgia. But it's definitely not the one that I put in. When I go to put in A Silent Night, Deadly Night, it is Part 1. It is not Part 2.
Yes.
Okay. Here are some fun facts. The first thing that pops up when I looked it up under trivia was Ricky's eyebrows move up and down 130 times.
Wow, that's actually included in the fun facts. That is amazing.
That is a stat from online that someone actually counted.
Amazing.
Someone actually counted this. And that's how many there are in a very short amount of screen time.
That's what I'm going to be doing here very shortly.
Counting eyebrows.
Myself. What?
Counting eyebrows?
Yeah. Apparently, pretty soon that's going to be my life. Pretty soon. Just to occupy my mind.
Stop. We'll just have to record more podcasts.
Okay.
The cinematographer stepped in to play the Salvation Army Santa after the actor they originally hired for the role didn't show up for filming.
Okay.
Like, what a dick move,
Yeah.
It wouldn't even occur to me that would happen, but I just filmed a movie in Dallas with Felissa Rose, and I was talking to the director, and he's like, yeah, we'll see who shows up. And I said, wait, what? And apparently that's quite common. And I'm just so responsible. I always show up. If I commit, I'm going to show up. And I guess, people don't show up. They're freaking flakes. What's up with that?
Well, and that's the same thing that happens with cons,
Yeah.
Celebrities will cancel at the last minute.
Yeah, true. But a lot of times when they cancel, I think they might have a prior obligation or something. But I guess it does happen for jobs. People just don't show up. When I would be training people at my restaurant job, I would ask my boss who I'm training, and he's like, well, we'll see if he shows up. He said that to me several times, and half of the time they don't show up.
Yes.
Which is crazy. This one was filmed in 15 days.
Oh my gosh.
And that was given to me. That stat was given to me by the director in the commentary.
Oh wow.
So that is that's not a speculation. He said it was a 15-day filming shoot. Again, they only had half of a movie to film. So the first one took 32 days. This one took 15. It makes sense. Half the time, right?
That is true.
The Mother Superior's address at the end is 666. Did you catch that?
No, I didn't.
That's a fun one. So, according to Joe Earl, who is one of the producers, he and Lee Harry were approached to do Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 1, essentially. They wanted them to recut Part 1 and re-release it as a sequel. Completely, like 100% re-release it as a sequel. And these are Joe's words. We didn't want to do that, so we compromised. So I'm kind of glad that they did not release Part 2 as, Part 1 as Part 2, because that would have sucked. And honestly,
they included enough of it, Jesus.
Yeah, it probably would have killed the franchise 100% if they did that.
Yeah.
They made 3 more after this.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Now they're not related to these 2 at all. They're their own stories, but they did make 3 more.
Okay.
If they had recut Part 1 and said it was a sequel, I'm sure they would not have made 3 more.
I agree.
And this is the last fun fact that I'm sure that you'll appreciate. Eric Freeman, who played Ricky, was a personal trainer when he got the job, so that's why he looks so good in all those shirts.
Okay.
So that explains it all, doesn't it?
I guess. I just got the chills.
You'll have to go and watch that scene again, just for the heck of it.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, do we have anything else to say about either Part 1 or Part 2?
I don't think so.
Me neither. I'm done. I'm sorry I made you watch these movies, but I'm so glad I did. I'm not sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
It's fine. I jokingly and lovingly say that I hate it. I hate it, but I love it because you are opening me up to movies I have never seen before. And it's fun. It's fun to talk about. And it's fun to get my perspective, 2 different perspectives.
So yeah, a new one and an old one,
Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's a Christmas classic.
Hey now.
It's right up there with A Christmas Story. Not really.
Bull crap. Bull crap.
If I said that to Henry, he might divorce me. We were just talking about A Christmas Story this evening. He's talking about maybe watching it tomorrow on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I saw the pink bunny footy pajamas at Walmart tonight.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And I was like, I see those every year. I need them. So I think I'm going to go back and get them because I want some pink bunny footy pajamas. I'm
not mad at it. I think that's cute.
Okay,
so let's see here. What else do we want to talk about on this? I want to give a couple of shout outs real quick. I want to shout out Wes and Kevin again from It's a Horror Podcast for their continued support and assistance in making this happen for us, and also giving us some really good feedback with what we've been doing. I also want to shout out another podcast, and that is the Outsiders of Horror podcast. It's typically 4 people, 3 guys and a girl. The girl is Christy. You met her this weekend at Days of the Dead.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've been talking to them more and more lately, and they have all given me great feedback. They say they enjoy it. And so their support and advice and guidance also means a lot. Those 2 are now basically some of my very favorite podcasts, and I can't wait for the new episodes every time they come out. I just can't wait to download them and listen to them, and it makes my workday go by faster. So I hope we can do that for someone else. Make their workday go by faster. Because I listen to podcasts while I'm filing away bins and bins of papers, and it just helps the flow. So I hope we can do that for someone else. But yeah, the It's a Horror Podcast and the Outsiders of Horror Podcast, please check them out. They are both a lot of fun. They're all really great people. I definitely recommend those 2 pods and getting to know those people.
Yeah, I'd like to shout out to a podcast I've been listening to.
Definitely.
The Lost Art of, and it is 3 guys. One of them is Jason Shepard, which is the artist I'm going to have commission some artwork for us. They just go over a bunch of different topics. I've listened to 3 of their podcast episodes. One is about 80s music. Another one is about some movies, I believe. I don't know. They're really fun. It's 3 guys talking about different stuff. Really fun. I really enjoyed it. It does make my day go faster. While I'm doing housework, doing the dishes, cooking, anything I'm doing, I will just listen to it. And I've giggled a lot, and I've really enjoyed it. I enjoy podcasts. I enjoy listening.
And so, I'm going to out you a little bit. Guys, okay. Tori has never heard of a podcast before a few months ago. She's never listened to one. The very first time she listened to a podcast was the mini episode of the It's a Horror podcast that I sent her as an example of what a podcast is. And after that, she was so excited to start our own. So she is new to podcast listening. And
yes, I am.
I am so excited that you're enjoying it.
I am. I'm enjoying it so much. And like I said, I love it whenever people say, whenever we tell people about our podcast and then they're like, oh, listen to mine. And I'm like, oh, cool. And that's what kind of happened with me and Jason Shepard. I was like, hey, we have a podcast. He's like, hey, so do I. And I was like, awesome. And then I listened to it and I was like, so I'm sitting here listening to his podcast and then I'm texting him at the same time. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I really enjoy this. Oh my gosh, I'm laughing over here. You guys are hilarious. And it's so much fun. It's just fun. And it's fun whenever you get to know the actual people that are doing the podcast. I did not know Christy was in a podcast. I just met Christy for the first time at Days of the Dead. She's amazing.
So amazing.
Yeah, she's awesome. I love her. She's my new favorite now. I want to go to Vegas and visit her store and hang out.
Can't wait.
Like we talked about.
Nightmare Toys, guys. Check it out.
Yes, we had to buy some of her stuff at Days of the Dead.
Yes, good pops, yeah. Good pops, good display. They always have a great selection. I wanted to buy a lot more than I did. I just couldn't carry it all home. So I said I was going to have to make an order. I really wanted to buy her Sam doll. She had a Sam, from Trick or Treat.
I saw that.
It was too big. I couldn't carry it home with all the other stuff I had. So I'll have to wait. I'll wait, Christy, and get the Sam doll later. I want it now, but
we all want everything at cons. Just load it all up.
I know.
Load it all up.
I know. So, anyways. Okay, so I think that is all we have to say on Silent Night 1 and 2. Shall we wrap this up?
Yes.
All right. So, my name is Summer.
And I'm Tori.
And you've been listening to The Dolls of Horror. Bye.
Bye.
Christmas Eve. Only one more day in this Christmas crap is history.
Hate to ruin your party mood, Mr. Sims, but a teensy problem has arisen personnel-wise.
Well, do something about it, solution-wise.
Billy, what's wrong? Your brother's in that case, that's what's wrong. No, he's not! Take it back!
Boys. There you are, you bad kitty!
Punish! Punished! Punished! Punished!
My name is Dr. Bloom. You can call me Henry, or if you would feel more comfortable, you can just call me Doc.
Fuck off, Doc. No one was close. No one to lose. You tend to get paranoid when everyone around you gets dead. That's life.
You killed him!
Punishment is good.
I hate you, Ricky.
Punishment is absolute.
I hate you!
Punish!
Uh-oh.
Hey, trying to give you another chance.
Great. You stood me up. You cheated on me. You ruined my best sweater. And I would rather die before I go out with you again.
Daddy! Daddy almost got his present early. Garbage day! Huh? No!
do 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 Santa's watching, Santa's creeping. Now you're nodding, now you're sleeping. Were you good for Mom and Dad? Santa knows if you've been bad. There might be a treat for you in Santa's bag of toys, but Christmas won't be fun and games for naughty girls and boys. Oh, Santa's watching, Santa's waiting, everybody's celebrating. Did you do your best this year? Too late now, 'cause Santa's Santa's watching, Santa's creeping. Now you're nodding, now you're sleeping. Were you good for Mom and Dad? Santa knows if you've been bad. There might be a treat for you in Santa's bag of toys, but Christmas won't be fun and games for naughty girls and boys.